Ooh, I love a good early morning. No, I don't. I'm not a morning person. Today I'm heading off to up near Marysville to get to the Stevenson's Falls. Have a little look around the area and see what I can get. So let's go, guys. Well, that was a pretty cool sight to see. As we're driving through the Yarra Valley, just witnessed around about 10 hot air balloons coming in for landing after what would have been an exceptional morning out for it. It's looking beautiful out there today. A lot of nice low cloud. I'm looking at the mountain ranges that I'm heading towards, and there's a nice, very nice low cloud coming over the mountains at the moment. So hopefully that'll mute the sun out, mute the light out a lot when I get up the hills and start going through the windy roads. Well, we're driving through the Black Spur up through the hills and decided to pull over just to have a little look around, and came across a little track which looks like it's a slight detour, I guess you would say. A little bit more of an adventure. No, it's only a couple k's long, so look, I'll head along here and see where this pops out on the main road. Oh, what's one of these trips without a little bit of adventure, eh? Well, here we are at the Stevenson's Falls up in Marysville, and wow, I've never actually been here, and this looks awesome. It's always difficult coming to a new place. You never know what you're going to find, but we've got an easy to walk track to get to these falls, and you can see behind me there, this place just looks fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look around. I want to get closer to the falls, up nice and close, looking up, make it look really big and prominent, get a nice foreground object. I'll see how I go. Now, the one thing I will be running today or using is a circular polarizing filter. Now, we've got a nice overcast day for it, which will work nice as far as avoiding hot spots from the sun goes. What I'll use is a circular polarizer to take that glare off the rocks. Just standing here, I can already see a lot of glare on the wet rocks down the side of the waterfall. So what we'll do, once the polarizer's on, it'll take that glare off, it'll increase the contrast between the colours, it'll just make the greens pop, it'll take the glare off the foliage. It's going to look fantastic. I'm kind of excited to hit these lower tracks and get down towards the river and have a look, so I'll see how I go. Here we are at the Stevenson Falls. Magnificent they are. There's a fair bit of water flowing at the moment. Now there's a very slight breeze. Now the one downside to that is causing mist which is coming straight onto the camera. Now just means I've got to keep wiping the filter down. Now what I'm going for is, obviously I'm trying to get a lot of motion in the water, so I'm running into the multiple seconds exposure. Now there's also a little bit of foam happening in the foreground in the water down just in front of the camera. Now I want to get a bit of movement in that. Because that's moving so slow, what I'm doing is I'm running a 6-stop neutral density filter at the moment, as well as a circular polarizer. Now with that combination, I'm running 200 ISO and an 8-second exposure. Now that's just enough to pull in a little bit of movement down the bottom, but without having to keep the exposure so long that I've got a good chance of getting a lot of mist on the lens. So I'll just take an exposure now and see how it comes up as soon as I clean the lens again. Alright, well what I've done is I've actually moved my composition all of about 2 metres to the left. Now what that's done is brought a lot more of this foam in the foreground. I took one image before and there was just a lot of motion in the foam on the left, but the whole right side in the foreground was just black nothingness. So I've moved over here. I think this is going to come up a lot better with all the movement happening right in front of the camera. 2-second timer again. The mist, that's never ending. Oh, it's nice and sharp. I like the amount of foam in the foreground, and the falls, I'm getting it all with a bit of the green foliage just on the left here. I'm liking what I've got. I'm liking it. Now I'm also going to run a horizontal composition for this one, just to get the green foliage from both sides, framing the waterfall itself. Here's another tip for you when using a circular polarizer. When changing from a vertical to a horizontal composition, always readjust your polarizer. Something I forget to do quite often. Now I was happy with the exposure of the waterfall itself, a good amount of blur there, but I wasn't quite happy with the amount of movement in the foreground. So I've now bumped the ISO down to 100 and I've gone for a 13-second exposure. That's much better. Now I've come to the Taggerty River Cascades. I got the photo of Stevenson's Falls. I took the track along the river there, but I couldn't find any composition I liked. There wasn't a whole great deal of colour in that river as far as sort of any reds or oranges in the rocks or any vibrant green moss growing on the rocks or anything. So I had a look on the map, and the Taggerty River is only a 20-minute drive up the road. So I'm just going to have a look around this area and see if I can get some nice images of the Taggerty River flowing over the rocks. I've never been up this way before, so I've got a few ideas of the sort of shot I'm after, but I'll just have to have a look around first. These places are absolutely awesome to explore, especially getting out on a morning like this. Nice fresh air. It has dropped off in temperature as you climb up into the mountains, but that's why you've always got to make sure you're prepared with a jumper or something along those lines, otherwise you will get quite cold. But I just love listening to the sound of the river running over the rocks. Just the growth, the wildlife, everything around here is just awesome. Just get out and have a little explore, eh? Well, from the last section of the Cascades, I've just walked up the track a little bit and come across another waterfall which is absolutely gorgeous. I don't actually know what the name of this one is. I think it might be Phantom Falls. I'm not sure. Now, this just looks absolutely gorgeous the way it's set out. There's one problem though, and that is that I have to stand very still for the exposure. Now I'm running, what I'm doing this time is I'm running the circular polarizer and a 6-stop ND. Now I'm going for an 8-second exposure. Now the problem with an 8-second exposure is I'm standing on a trestle bridge. It's very unstable. I'm just going to stand still and do my exposures now. I've got the composition set up. Now I had just a small incident just before. I was taking the filter off my camera, and as I took it off, the circular polarising filter's taken a tumble onto the bridge, thankfully not into the water. Just goes to highlight, make sure the circular polariser, anything that threads together is tight before you move it around. We don't want to go losing too many in the rivers around here. Now I thought I'd go for a few shots with the longer lens on, the 70-200. I can go right in tight against a little bit of the Cascade and pull out a lot more detail from the log because I'm that much closer. Now I'll tell you one thing that bugs me about this Nikon 70-200 f4 lens. It's a 67mm thread. Why not just go with 77? I've got to keep changing the rings on the Nisi adapter. Every time I end up with a fingerprint or two on it, but that's all good. I'll get some of these shots as soon as that sun goes behind a bit more cloud, and I reckon we'll be sweet. Now this is the composition I've been after. This is in the upper Taggerty Cascades, so it's further upstream, and we've just got a nice cascading effect around these awesome green rocks. Now we've got a flow coming down the left, a small flow coming down the right behind this rock, and there's a big flow happening right in front of the camera here. So what I'm running at the moment is the 16-35mm lens, obviously. I'm running the circular polarising filter to take that glare off the water, but because the sun has gone behind the clouds again, there's absolutely no need to run a neutral density filter. At the moment I've got it set on a 2-second exposure. Just taking another one now. Which is providing more than enough water movement. I'm loving this spot. This is brilliant. This is going to come up so vibrant. Just those greens are unbelievable. This is what I came here for, to see, for basically this shot. I don't know if it's something I've seen done before. It could be. I might have found it on Google Images. That's how I tend to investigate these locations I haven't been to before. Find out where it is. You look up Google Images. You see compositions that you like, which is what gets you there, and you tend to take that image, but then you get to investigate and have a little explore around and come up with something unique that, to yourself. With that being said, it's also post-processing techniques. Everyone has their own techniques, their own style. So it's, you could have 5 people take the same composition, same spot, same day, and they could all potentially look different because of the different processing style. So I'm just going to have a little play with my settings here, see what I can come up with, and I'm just going to have a look around because this is absolutely beautiful, this spot. It's even just down here, there's more awesome greens. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. Well guys, that's it for another video. Hope you've enjoyed coming on this trek with me to the Taggerty Cascades and also the Stevenson's Falls. Now, it's absolutely gorgeous country out here. If you haven't been out this way, I highly recommend it. Even without the camera, just to come for a bit of fresh air and to enjoy the rapids. Alright guys, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Just keep watching, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. Anything you'd like to leave for feedback, leave it below in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Cheers guys, thanks for watching. The strange things you see on the side of the road.